1 second. I think we are online now. Yes. So again, it's a adventure here. It's already sunrise. I would like to show you what I'm watching from there. So I am using my light because it's still dark. And today we have Philippa Anderson. She's going to help us for if you have any question or if you don't know something about how to become a professional surfer. So I'm going to introduce you here, and yeah, Philippa. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Okay, we are going to try with my microphone. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Very bad. Wait, this is things from the on live. So I don't know why. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, sorry everyone. We are having again some mistakes of the sound. I don't know. So we are going to try. Okay. Yeah, I think we are going to try with the microphone I have here. So can you talk, Philippa?
Yeah, morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you, but we are going to use my microphone, and it's going to be a little bit delay, I think. I don't know what happened today with the sound. Ay, ay, ay.
Is it maybe my side? I'm not sure.
No, no, I think it's something from me, from my settings or something. But it's weird because I'm using the. Yeah, people can see your image, but they cannot hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Should I?
Just talk.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know much about technology and stuff, so I don't know if I'll be able to help.
Okay, so I'm going to use my microphone. Let me think. Okay, quick thing. Okay, we are going to change this quick. 1 second, everyone. Hello. Like this. Now.
Hello?
Yeah, it's a little delay, but it's okay.
A little delay, but it's okay.
Yeah. So, first question. Sorry, everyone, but yeah, these things is what you are doing things online and things happen. So, the first question I would like to know, because some people know who is Philippa, some people don't know who is her. So I would like, yeah, she introduce herself. So who are you, Philippa?
I live in Australia at the moment. I currently reside in Newcastle. I'm 29 years old, and I guess, yeah, I have shown chosen the path of a professional surfer, or that's my goal of making it to the WCT to join, the world's best. I currently own a surf school in Newcastle, and between working, surfing, and training, the goal this year is to qualify. Live in Newcastle with my family. There's my brother and my sister, my mom and dad. We grew up in South Africa and actually emigrated to Australia when I was 12 or 13. So we've been very blessed to grow up in South Africa and spend a lot of my childhood surfing and, looking back at it, having a really awesome childhood, and then having a really blessed opportunity to move to Australia. And that's definitely helped my surfing career and path that I took of wanting to be a professional surfer. And I met Ivan in Europe maybe 5 years ago through one of my sponsors. And we've become friends, and he's been my coach for 5 years now.
Okay. At the same time you are talking, I'm trying to fix the things, but it's okay. So, you said you were born in South Africa, and now you are living in Australia. So, do you feel more Australian, or do you feel more South African?
I don't know. That's a tough one. I feel definitely we got here today in my surfing career because I started surfing in South Africa. That's all I really remember as a child. We have all our family still back in South Africa. I feel like I would probably say I'm Australian just because I've spent majority of my life in Australia. I have an Australian passport, but South Africa is still very close to my heart. Like I said, all our friends and family are there. So with surfing, I was very fortunate when we moved to be able to go back, 10 times since we moved. With surfing, that's been awesome. It was, I had a lot of competitions there, so I was able to go back home and stay really connected to all my friends and family. I think I surf for Australia at the ISAs, so representing Australia. I'd call myself an Australian, but I still keep the South African flag really close to my heart because all my friends and family, and that's where I started surfing. That's the memories that I have as a young child.
Okay, one more question.
Yes.
How many years are you already in the tour, in the top? And what is your position in the ranking right now?
I did my first QS when I was 17. I was still finishing school, and then I did a few more, and then I finished school and I gave the QS a full-time go. So that was quite a while ago. I've been with the QS for over 10 years. Let's just say that. And my ranking at the moment, I think I'm 5th or 6th. I think. Probably should know this. So I don't really like to look too much into rankings and stuff. I just kind of let everything roll out and just focus on myself. But I think I'm maybe 5th or 6th. So I've qualified for the Challenger Series for the Australian region at the end of the year. So that's pretty exciting.
Okay, do you have plans for coming? I say for coming, I am in Bali, but I think if you come to Europe, I feel like I come with you. So, do you have plans for coming to Europe?
Yeah, the Challenger Series, it's tentative at the moment just because of everything that's happening around the world, but they pretty confident that we're going to run in Europe, so I'm really excited to go back there. I think that will probably be my eighth time to Europe, so yeah, the connection there is very strong, and obviously I work with Ivan when I go to Spain. So this year we're going to France and Portugal, which is really exciting to be back. So hopefully everything starts to improve and WSL, yeah, can get things rolling for us. Yeah, hopefully.
One more question. Which is your best memory in a competition and your worst memory?
Oh, we'll start with the worst because that one's always there. I learned a big lesson actually from this one. I was in the World Juniors. I forget what year it was. We had World Junior events. There were 3: Australia, Bali, and Brazil. So obviously you competed in all 3, and then whoever was the most consistent obviously finished first. And I was going into the last leg in Burleigh Heads in Australia. I needed to get through the semi-final. I had Alyssa Quizon, and there was like 3 or 4 minutes to go, and I needed a 4-point ride, which is like pretty easy for me these days, or back then, like a 4-point ride. I remember the conditions. It was pretty tricky, so you just needed to do 1 or 2 turns and they would have rewarded you from memory. And yeah, it's like 3 minutes to go. I remember paddling, and as I jumped up, I fell. So that, yeah, I think it was like a minute to go. I fell on a wave that definitely would have given me the score. And yeah, that just really hurt because I was so nervous paddling into that wave. So I fell, didn't get the score, and I ended up getting second in the world in the Pro Juniors. So that was really tough. I had an opportunity there to be World Junior Champion, and I let the nerves get the better of me. So I still think back to that just being, a really good lesson, because since then, I've really worked on my mental state in the water to really change things around and not let that happen again. I have so much pressure, like maybe I'm in a QS at the end of the year and I need to get through this heat to get into the World Tour. I feel like I've had that bad experience, which I've really learned from that. But yeah, that was a pretty sad thing, that I could see the World Junior title right there, and I fortunately fell. But yeah, always learning from your losses and mistakes. So that's, I guess, a positive thing too. But yeah, my best memory, there's quite a few. I've been pretty fortunate to be able to compete around the world for the last 10 years and have some really good results. Obviously, my team has helped me definitely get there. I don't know, really, I've had a few QS wins, but I think when I was 17, I won a QS in Newcastle. I only went in it because my dad was like, oh, it's your first year, we might as well do a few events that are in Australia. And yeah, he entered me in Newcastle, and I just, went in it for fun. And the next thing I knew, I was in the finals. And that was, pretty surreal for me, just needing a score at the end, getting the score, and waiting on the beach with all my friends and family. That was a pretty cool feeling to win a QS at home. SURFER comes back every year. I've had a third, I've had a couple quarters, but yeah, haven't managed to win it again. But still, that to me holds a really special place in my heart. It kind of opened up the door for me and realised, how much I want to win. yeah, that was a really special moment.
Okay, so one more question.
Did you sort out the audio, Ivan?
I'm trying. Now I have two hands because before I need to have with hand the microphone next to the iPad. So I leave
Yeah.
the microphone next there. So I think it's working more or less. So the thing is, I'm not going to ask you how you manage when you're winning, because I think easy. Just be happy and enjoy the winning. But the most difficult, and I think no one teach us how you manage when you lose, when you have, you are super focused, you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do this. Or even I remember the first time I coached you in Pantene, you were sad because you lost in semifinals. You were third in the competition, and you were sad. And I told you, Philippa, if the first day you send me the email asking me for coaching you, I said you are going to be third. You say, okay, where I need to sign. But at that moment you were sad because I know you always want to win, even when you are in the final, you want to win. If you don't have that feeling, you are not a real competitor. But how you manage when you don't win, when you lose a hit, how you manage, how are you doing to change that bad feeling in the beginning, or try to think, okay, that moment that you are totally depressed, how you manage your mind for change this?
Yeah. Definitely for me it was a massive learning curve, and took me a while to get to be able to, when you lose, handle it in a really good way. I definitely am very competitive. I want to win no matter what I do. So yeah, I have high expectations, and when I don't reach those goals, I used to get like really, really bummed. I used to like get pretty angry, and I think because I just wanted to win so bad. But as the years went on of competing, the team around me really helped me see the long run. And okay, like definitely when you lose or you don't succeed, absorb it and work on it, and then give yourself time to like accept the loss and take that in. But then the next day, wake up and it's a new day. There's another challenge. There's another contest. So for me, that took a long time to learn those kind of stages, and I'm still learning. But I just had the team around me, and Ivan played a huge role in that, especially my parents, and coming from a Christian background, just realizing that, okay, I know that we wanted to win. We didn't get there. Learning from that, being sad, taking it in, but then not holding on to that, because when we hold on to things we don't see clearly in the future. That's what I have come across with my surfing career. So absorbing it's really important, being sad and having the time for that, being angry, being frustrated, having the time, but then making sure the next day we kind of write a few things down, absorb that and learn from it, so that maybe next time if we lost from a really easy mistake, that won't happen again. But yeah, for me, there were times where letting go was really hard at the start. Like I would still be pretty angry from 3 events ago, that I did that little mistake and just really angry at myself. And as I got older and more mature, then the more events that I surfed, I started to feel a lot more comfortable and go, okay, well, yeah, that happened. You can't control it now. Maybe what I did then was a little mistake. I've written that in my notes. So the next time there's a the same opportunity or the same situation to go, oh, actually, okay, I did that, I'm going to learn from that, but not like still holding on to it so that it clouds our vision for that time. Because if we're going into events going, oh, I have this person that I'm surfing against and they keep beating me, and oh, the last time they just beat me, like, and then just getting really hyped up and focusing on that, and you're probably going to lose that heat that you're going into, instead of just taking it in, going, yep, okay, they beat me, it's a new slate tomorrow. I remember, yep, I'm going to try my hardest, try not to make a mistake. Going in, just being not so cloudy because we haven't forgotten, but we've moved on. If that's kind of what I've been really working on. And I think that can be applied to everything in life as humans, as, you know, the experiences that we have. So that's a thing that I've definitely worked hard on, because like I said, I am so competitive, and yeah, sometimes I get really hard on myself, and I gotta, kind of not hold on to it, and that's been really big for me and a huge improvement.
Okay, one more question. When you win, how much money you get? Everyone is asking the same question. The question is, how much does a professional surfer make? Because everyone think professional surfers, they are kind of rich, or they are rich, and it's true that some of them, they are very wealthy, they have very wealthy lives, good money, but most of them, well, yeah, you can tell us how is from where is the money coming, how much money you usually spend in the tour. So in the end of the tour, you get money, you lose money, same, you need to work for still going in the tour, and how is this money coming and going?
Yeah, I mean, it's different for everyone. I guess the first thing is based on sponsorship that an individual surfer has. Majority of the girls and guys are sponsors, so they have some support, whether it's financial support or other support from their personal sponsors. So, you know, depending on who you are, obviously the top guys that have sponsors, they're getting paid quite a lot of money. I definitely think they deserve that. They're incredible athletes, and just the level that those top guys, the surfing that they're doing is just beyond amazing. So personal sponsorship can be a lot of money. There's definitely a lot of people on the QS that maybe don't have a lot of financial support. I have been very lucky with my career. I've had three major sponsors. In between that, there were years where I didn't have a major financial sponsor supporting me. So yeah, I had to go get a couple jobs to make sure I could, support that bank account and get some money in there to be able to travel to the next event. But then, yeah, when you get to the events, if you're making finals day, for the women, I mean, before the equal pay, you weren't really, you were coming away at a loss at the end of the year if you didn't qualify. So yeah, the events for me, 3 years and then all the way till I started, the events doing well is what got you to the next event. And I know that a lot of the boys were the same on the QS in that kind of way. We would compete and have to make finals day to cover all our costs for, flying from Australia to Europe, car hire, accommodation, coaches, food, all that adds up. So when we get to an event and we get knocked first heat, you're pretty upset at the result, but then you have all that kind of financial stress as well if you don't have a major sponsor supporting you. So it can be really tough. a lot of people do refer to the World Qualifying Series as a grind. I don't think it is. It is very hard work, but everything's hard work. People get up and go to work 9 till 5, come home, still do work to make sure they have their stuff ready for the next day. So, you know, a few of my friends are labourers, really hard work that they do there in the sun every day building houses. Surfing's the same. It's hard work. It's not a grind. I think we're very blessed. It's very hard work just with the elements as well of competing because you're in Mother Nature. You know, things can go your way and things don't go your way. But the money definitely, unless you're, you know, making finals day for the men and women in the QS and always finishing in that top 1, 2, 3, come the end of the year, you obviously qualify and then you're on the world tour, which is a different level in terms of income and being a professional surfer. But on the QS, what I've been doing, yeah, if you're not really making those finals days, you're coming off at the end of the year at a loss because it's a lot of money to fly around the world for the 10, 12 events. WSL have actually done a really incredible thing. They've changed the qualifying series kind of format how you get there. They've made it regionals, so instead of the whole year round traveling to 10 events around the world, you just have 4 or 5 in your region. So the Australian Oceania region, which we just had. So that eliminates so much traveling and expenses. And that was a really good thing because every region now, all the surfers will be able to do that. So we had 4 or 5 events and 3 out of the 4 I stayed at friends or family or some friends. So that there saved a whole lot of money. So it's really smart what WSL have done because each surfer that was kind of struggling to get to those events that might not have the money, hopefully now they'll be able to do it in their region. And then if they do qualify, there's a bit of a gap now until the challenges. So like myself, I have a full-time job. I'm busy working hard to get fill that bank account to become the Challenger Series. Yeah, I can afford to go there. But I think when a lot of people do think of professional surfers, I think their first thought is like, whoa, they live an amazing life, which 100% we do. We're so blessed. We get to, well, on the tour, surf the best waves and travel around the world. There's a lot of things that I think people don't see. I just think a lot of people don't see the hard work. Like the Australian leg of the WC2 that just came to Australia, then everyone had to quarantine for 2 weeks. Some people were away from their family for 3 months. Some of them came by themselves because they couldn't afford to quarantine and pay for an extra person. They had 4 events pretty much back to back and chucking in winning and losses. You know, a lot of the people came over by themselves because of COVID. That's just incredible that they managed to get through those 4 events, and there was some guys that were super consistent, like the Brazilians that made finals day. So I think people maybe look at it and go, oh well, they're rock stars, they're amazing surfers that have so much money and support, but they work really hard. If I just think of the 4 events that were here and how hard they worked, I think they definitely deserve it. And yeah, it's crazy how money makes the world go round, and obviously life is a bit easier with money, but you kind of just step back a bit and just think wake up and see what you have. And even if maybe you don't have enough money to get to that next event, I think still be blessed at the situation you're in, and that is something that I always think about. I do, winning that contest, obviously I want to win because I want to prove to everyone I can surf and beat everyone. Then also, there's quite a bit of money you can win. So sometimes, you don't let that vision of the money get in the way, because it just depends on, as well, what you want to surf for. If you want to surf to be heath rich and famous, maybe that will work out. But I think putting your heart on your sleeve, and for me, I want to win because I want to show everyone that I deserve to give the World Championship Tour a shot, and everything else in that is a bonus.
Okay, I think it's the time now for you to be in the tour, because Philippa is a fighter, a worker. Since I met her, I know she's a real worker, real fighter, and I think this year is the year, your year. When you were talking about this year, the guys, they need to do the quarantine with no family, kind of alone and everything. I have one question, that because people don't realize how hard, difficult is to be in the tour. Because people think, you are surfing around the world with your friends, la 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 la. But how alone do you feel when you are in the tour, when you are in Europe, when you are in America or other countries, or even maybe sometimes in your country, but you are far away from your home? Do you feel alone? You feel you miss your family, your friends? Because people think that because you are surfing party, eh? But
Yeah.
I think it's hard.
Oh, definitely. Doing things. Well, surfing is such an individual sport. I've been very lucky to have a really good team around me. So, like, I go to Europe by myself because I can't really afford for my mum or dad or friend to join. But when I go there, I then see Ivan, and I stay with Ivan and I work with Ivan. So there's some events where you go by yourself, but you have a coach with you, which is really nice. It makes you feel like, obviously I've known Ivan for a long time, so it makes me feel like I'm not really alone and I have a friend. But yeah, there are some times where you're traveling by yourself, and it can get pretty lonely. Especially coming to and from Europe, it takes like 2 days. Sometimes you're by yourself. You have to stay overnight in a hotel at Dubai or some airport, and it can get pretty scary and lonely. But I think we're very thankful now with the internet. We can speak to our friends and family. But it's what really sucks is when you lose and you're traveling by yourself, or you don't have your mom and dad there. That's really hard to try. Like I said, absorb that and have someone go, hey, it's going to be all right. Like, just let's hang out tonight, go out for dinner, and then, be sad. But it's always better being sad with someone. But yeah, so it is pretty hard. I've been very fortunate. I've made a lot of good friends on the QS, and I normally travel with them. But yeah, sometimes you just want your mom or your dad or your best friend, or someone there to give you a hug. I can't imagine what it would have been like for the CT guys that left some of their family for like 3 months. That would have been really hard. But very thankful with the internet now. We can just quickly get the phone and do a quick FaceTime. So, lonely, but luckily that we have the internet to be able to speak to them.
Okay, one more question. You are talking about missing your dad, your mom, your parents. I think not many people realize you are sister of Craig Anderson. Is this helping you? And the same, no one, because I think most of the people don't know you are Craig Anderson's sister, but it's good, it's bad, or it's nothing different because you are her sister? His sister. His or her sister?
Her, what?
You are
I'm
her
his
sister
sister.
or her sister?
I'm his sister? Is that right? Oh my gosh, now you tongue-tied me.
Because for me sometimes it's very difficult to say it.
No, I'm his sister. You just confused me then.
You are his sister. So it's is the same, or you have sometimes good things because help from him or a friend or something because you are, yeah, family, or nothing changed?
I mean, always Craig was just my brother to me, and he's done really well within his own surfing. I'm super proud of him. And as we were younger, getting older, Craig started to get recognised. And to me, I was just like, oh, he's my annoying older brother. Like, yeah, that was just what it was. And then he's like 4 or 5 years ago, I'd walk around and people that would see him and they're like, oh, that's Craig. And to me, I'm like, that's so weird. Like, I guess it's because he's just my brother to me. But I think both being within the surf industry, obviously very different. He's not a competitor. I definitely stole all the competitive genes from that one. I think I got them all out of my brother and sister. But having him be in the surf industry as a surfer, looking back, it's been so amazing to have Craig. He is so knowledgeable within the surf industry. He's obviously the experience that he's had with traveling, and just he's been so helpful with just little things along the way. Like he won't really say much, but he'll just every now and then say something little and it would make sense. I'm like, oh yeah, or he'd be like, hey, no, I don't think you should do that. Or like, oh, maybe try this, or hey, you should go surf this wave on Sunday, it's going to be good. All these like little things, especially the advice that he's given me within my own personal, I guess, profile as a surfer has really been super insightful and helped me. So I'm really thankful that he's a little bit older and that he's also within the surf industry, because his knowledge has just helped me with so many things. Not so much competing, because he's not a competitor, but every now and then he'll watch a heat and Craig doesn't really say much. So when he says that was a good heat, that makes me feel pretty special that he's watched and complimented, because like my dad and my brother, they're the same. They don't really say much. So when they do, it's
Battery like this, pack. So I don't know where I am now. Now for, I don't know, 5 minutes. So when I'm because I'm always looking here for the people are watching me there, it's because Philippa is my iPad here. Because I looks the other last week when I was doing the interview with Letty, people say to me, Ivan, you were looking the phone all the time. You were looking the phone all the time. You are not focused on Letty. I say, no, because I'm looking. Here is when I see Philippa is here, so this is just sorry for the mistake. And I lose now the question. I think it's about the brother. I want to jump to a totally different question and I think this question is good to do it before when you are talking about the money you get from the sponsors and everything. Do you feel you have less support or more support, you or women, more support or less support from sponsors, from the brands, in the surf industry or in your life?
Yeah. I think I mean, personally, I've been very blessed. Like I said, I had 3 major sponsors supporting me since the age of 14. All the girls that I traveled with did have sponsors. I think what got a bit tough is when the results weren't there, then a few of the girls didn't have the sticker on their board anymore. So, whereas maybe, you would see, a lot more guys being sponsored and not so many girls, and that could be maybe, I don't know, maybe they just would, the girls are not doing so good. Let's, keep the guys on, even though the guys might not be doing so good. But I don't know. I think a lot of, I don't really know. I'm not involved in all that side of sponsorship stuff, and I don't know much about businesses in terms of what athletes put out and what you bring in from them. But I think, if you just let your surfing do the talking, things will start to come from that. There's a lot of, and some of my close friends that don't have big sponsors, and they still getting good results, and they just putting their head down. And I think that hopefully will pay off for them. For me, that's kind of like when I lost my major sponsor, Iron, a few years ago. I was pretty bummed, and I just was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to keep surfing and turn this around and just go work another day, pick up another shift. I think, it's kind of just how you mentally want to approach that. But I think, the surf industry, it's slowly getting better. WSL have announced equal prize money, which is amazing. I feel like everyone works just as hard as each other, whether the guys have to surf one more heat. I know for the tennis, the girls, play a few less sets, but I just think, we all work hard to get there, and it's really cool to see that WSL has recognised that we're getting, rewarded with equal pay, and that's it's really cool. It's going to help a lot of us out that might not have major sponsors.
Maybe you can look at sponsors in not from surf, because I always advise this to the kids and people I know, that maybe now everyone is focused on thinking about get a sponsor for a surf brand. That is good. You can have that sponsor for clothing, wetsuits, everything. But maybe it's the best moment to look for a sponsor. I don't know. You have already Toyota, no? I think you have Toyota sponsor.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, there's definitely.
Maybe it's time, or it's good idea to look for outside brands of the surf industry. I don't know, sunblock. I don't know. Maybe some supplements, some drink, sport thing, something like. You don't realize that those brands, they are looking for an image of a sport woman, an athlete, and you aren't only thinking surf brand.
Yeah, there's so much opportunity out there. I think maybe 3 years ago, the surf industry actually started to pull away from only being sponsored by surf brands, which is amazing. It's involving more companies within the surf industry. There's opportunities there. I just think one thing that I have made sure is, I've had a few people message me for sponsorship, and I'm sure the support would have been great, and there would have probably been some financial help there, but kind of the brand or the company wasn't really what I was feeling or what I am. So I think just to make sure if there's any young surfers out there or any other athletes, you know, just don't sell yourself, and make sure that if you're going to be representing a brand, that you guys kind of have the same morals or values. I think, you know, you don't want to be representing something that you're not passionate about or that you care about.
Sell your soul for money, no? It's kind of sell your soul.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's why, I mean, we can be really kind of clouded by that vision of what, like, do we just want to surf and get rich and famous? Then yeah, maybe go do that. But I feel like in a couple of years, you probably won't be super happy. So yeah, I'm really stoked with all my sponsors that I have at the moment. You know, we're all so tight, and I love what some of them do, just their business vision and their core values within their brand. I'm really all about that. Some of the products that I use are biodegradable, so they're helping the environment and recycled packaging, and that's something that I'm passionate about. So I'm just like, my circle's really good because I have a level and a standard that I want to have, and I think don't let that cloud by money for anyone that's, I don't know, wants looking for sponsorship and that. Just make sure, you stay true to yourself, and I think that's really important so that you can just not get lost along the way.
Okay, so how do you see yourself? Because I always like to have objectives for myself, for my athletes, for when I give advice to my clients. I always say that you need to have goals. So short term, mid term, and long term. So how do you see yourself in 1 year? In 5 years? I need to check. 1 year, 5 years, and in 10 years. So how you see yourself in the next 1, 5, and 10 years? What your goals, or how you visualize yourself in the future?
Yeah, gosh, 10 years, it's so long, far away, but it's probably not because it goes so quick. Well, yeah, this time next year, personally, I'd like my business to be very successful and have helped a lot of kids learn to surf, and to help them as well, teach them about the ocean. That's what I want every kid in the next year, if they've come to me and they've, you know, just had a really good experience with learning to surf, and get on top of a lot of things with the business. That's a really big goal that I'm working towards. Personally, for my surfing, this time next year, I wanna be on tour. It's been my goal for a lot of years now, and it hasn't been my time, but I'm still having fun and learning along the way, and very blessed with the opportunities. That's haven't gotten there, but hopefully, you know, next time this year, I'll be sitting here, maybe just finish the Australian leg or something, I don't know. Obviously 5 years time, you know, I would have hopefully been on tour, and I really would have liked to have an event win underneath my belt. A couple wins in the CT can definitely be done. I've been following the girls on tour now for a long time, and there's a lot of rookies that get really good results. There's a lot of the veterans that are still getting good results, and then there's a lot of girls that have been on there for 1 or 2 years and have managed to get a good result, like Joanne and Caroline. So it just shows you that it can be done. You can be, you know, the world champion, and that's how I kind of look at it. So that's my goal, getting on tour, and then realistically, winning 1 or 2 events That will be amazing. Yeah, hopefully 5 years. That would be really cool. And yeah, 10 years. I mean that's a long time away,
But Philippa, 10 years, it's going to be like this, eh? Fuck.
yeah, I know. It's so crazy. But yeah, I think probably maybe not surf wise, but 10 years time, just look back at my last, last couple years on tour and just be really happy with myself and the person that I've become. I think a big part of that comes from, growing up in South Africa, and it was a third world country, and just seeing how lucky my family and I were coming to Australia with the opportunity that we live in a really good country now. I think I love to just give back because we're so fortunate from our life that how it's turned out. So yeah, I'm hoping in 10 years time my business will be really good, and I would have got some extra cash from winning those couple events. And yeah, I have a goal that I want to really help the less fortunate, whether it's go back to South Africa or the Philippines and maybe do like a little surf school thing there and set up something there to help kids that are just less fortunate. It's probably, I mean, you wouldn't really put it as a goal, but it's definitely a vision that I would like to do. And 10 years is a long time, so I'm hoping that after my surfing career or during my surfing career, I can set up something like that where I just help kids surf. Because if I just look, this is where I am now because of surfing, and if I have a platform with my surf school to be able to offer that, and my knowledge is in the 15 years of competition that I've had, so I think 10 years time, hopefully I would have done something good for people out there that might not be as fortunate.
Yeah, I think for sure. For the ones don't know, Philippa has a surf school in Newcastle, and I think because she has the knowledge of all the levels, not only for beginning or for beginners, she can advise people when she sees someone wants to be in the QS or in the competitions. I think she has the knowledge now for helping people and supporting people to grow. And I think it can be a good opportunity for you to have like a group of kids, of girls, and make your name. I think because it's what I think about me. So yeah, when in the future when you are no more in the tour, I think, in my opinion, was what I think. You can still there in the tour with the people you coach in the future. So I don't know if this is
I mean,
how I feel, but maybe you have different feeling.
well, there's definitely, obviously I've surfed around Newcastle and I see all the young kids that are 15, 16, 17, and some of them want to become professional surfers, and it's cool to be able to help them every now and then. And I coach a few of the little girls around here, so like that's super cool. And even with the surf school, I've seen since we started, there's a few young kids that have come and had lessons, and they have weekly lessons with myself and the team. And I can just see like they're gonna be surfers, and a few of the little kids are like, oh, I want to be a pro surfer just like you, or I want to be a pro surfer one day. And yeah, if I can help them get there, that's awesome. I had my dad help me when I was really young along the way, and I'm so thankful for that. So to be able to hear those little kids say that, and I'm like, oh, if I can help you get there, that's amazing.
And I think you come from a place. It is already, well, I don't know how many famous surfers from Newcastle. I think Luke Egan is from Newcastle, Craig Anderson, Jacob, Ryan Callahan. You have, I don't know, many from Newcastle. So it's not place like you say, oh, I want to create something new from zero, one QS rider or city or wood surfer. But no, you already are in a place that, I don't know if it's because the waves are around there, because the surf level in that beach is very high, but you already live in a place that you can help people, that they can become one of the best surfers in the world. You are from a place that is already.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy the surf history in Newcastle. It's insane. The other night we had a board riders meeting, and Tim was saying at one stage there were 5 of Newcastle surfers on tour. Luke Egan, Mark Richards, I forget. It's sitting right there. I forget the 3 other guys' names. But yeah, that's insane that we produce so many, and you can definitely see when I was younger, we surfed with, I would see Mark Richards and Luke Egan, and then you had Mutua Rice and Travis Lynch and my brother and Ryan and Jake Sylvester and Jesse Adams. You know, they were all kind of like the older boys, and you were just out there surfing with them. So I definitely think that's how towns and cities produce these good surfers. Same as Snapper. You know, they have Steph, Mick and Joel. And like, it's just, it's that whole vibe in that community. So we got some, really special ingredients in the water here in Newcastle.
Maybe when you live in a place that you see people that are already doing this thing, you don't think that is the goal is like, wow, this is too far, it's impossible, I cannot make it. But when you live in a place that you see, this guy is already in the tour, this guy is already, so maybe it's something that makes you think it's something you can do it. But when you live in a place that no one did it before, it's like, boy, I'm going to be the first one to do this.
Yeah, I think because you just see them around town, or you see them surfing, and I mean, I train with Ryan Callanan, and he's just a normal person. You know, we're not superheroes, and it's cool to see that and go, it's just, he just fucking works hard, and you see that, and that's what gets you there. So it's really cool that for the younger kids, and when I was younger, I saw that. And it's really inspirational. So we're very lucky that, we ended up in Newcastle. It's cool that God ended us up being here.
Okay, so I think it's time to finish the interview. I don't want to finish the battery again. And thank you for staying kind of here with me. I hope next interview we have together in Europe, maybe. And if you want to say something, I don't know. I'm looking. Please.
I know.
Because if Philippa is going to Europe, means that I'm going to Europe. I'm going to visit my family, my friends, eat good food, and I'm going to be supporting her there. And then maybe we come back to Bali. I don't know. I don't want to tell. We said I don't want to sell the milk before I have the cow. So, do you want to say something, say bye-bye, or advice for people are now in the beginning of the surf career? Something. Imagine you can say something now to Philippa 10 years ago. What do you say to Philippa? Advice to her.
I feel like I only figured it out a little bit later, and I wish I'd figured it out earlier. So just make sure you have fun along the way. When I was a lot younger, I was super competitive, and like I said, I learned how to take from that loss and not cloud my vision and be able to move on. I only figured that out later in my career. So I would say that to a young Philippa, hey, enjoy it. Take that in and then enjoy it. I think I was very clouded by the results and all that when you were younger. And, you know, I was surfing against Tyler and Laura, who made the world tour. We all did the pro juniors here, and Nikki, and I was in that era, and they all beat me and then qualified. And I was still in the QS. And I wish, I had that advice of, you know, just have fun and take it in, but enjoy the moment. I only figured that out probably 4 or 5 years a little bit later, to really enjoy your sport that you've chosen, or as a surfer in the QS, for you young guys that want to get into it. Yeah, just embrace it and enjoy it. And when there's time to put your head down, put your head down. When there's time to relax and, you know, maybe have a couple of days off, go hang with your friends, do that. I think it's all about enjoying it. And then back to the sponsorship thing, just making sure you stay true to yourself. Those are 2 things, that I try to do every day. Making sure I just enjoy it and be true to myself. But work hard. I think it's hard work, and you got to be ready for that. You got to sacrifice a lot of shit, and it's if you want it. It's all if you want it or not. If you don't, then maybe it's not for you. Maybe the competitive side is not for you. But and all this, I've just figured this all out over the last 10 years competing. So sometimes it takes longer to see it, but looking back, I'd say just work hard, stay true to yourself, and enjoy the moment for sure.
Okay, so the advice is enjoy the moment. Do you want, for me, I don't want to stay asking you more questions because I want to keep some questions for Europe. I hope we are doing more streamings from there for everyone. So do you want to say bye-bye or something to your friends, your family?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me, Ivan. It was cool. We normally see each other maybe like twice a year, but we haven't seen each other in ages. But this is exciting. Thanks for having me on board. And I just hope everyone is safe at the moment. It's pretty crazy time, so I just hope that whatever you're going through, that you're going to be all right. And I guess hopefully this will pass soon, and we can all get back to what normal life was, if we can remember. No masks and all that stuff. But I just hope everyone's safe around the world, wherever you are. And thanks for having me, Ivan.
Okay, thank you. I want to say thank you, everyone. Sorry for the mistakes again, but I try to do better next time. And it's learning process. So I'm learning. Thank you, Philippa, for being here with me and helping me to learn, grow this new thing. And I hope to see everyone in the next 2 weeks with a new interview, and I will tell you soon who is the next one. So thank you, everyone, and see you soon.
Ciao.